Welcome to La Mirada Park for the men's doubles finals. My name is Dave Vincent alongside Dave Fink. It's the WPH Big Ball Cup Series stop number 3 and Big Ball Nationwide stop alongside Edel Handball and Junior WPH. This has been one heck of a tournament so far, and we've seen some good stuff. Juan Santos taking down Samzon Hernandez in the men's singles, and Katrina Casey losing to Tanisha Grooms, our number 1 in the women's singles finals. But here we have the powerhouse, Samzon Hernandez and Manny Razzle Dazzle teaming up. On paper, they look great, and they're going up against Ricky Ruiz and Timbo Gonzalez, who won the last stop in Vegas, the LTE Cup stop number 2. Here's the announcements from Sal Duenas.
We have Manny and Samson from Hawthorne, Ricky from Downey, Timbo from New York.
Doubles is always the last match of all of our Players Cup events because it's really the main event. It usually turns out to be the most exciting match. The play is so fast and the players are so hungry, particularly in a match like this. You saw Timbo Gonzalez and Ricky Ruiz win the last doubles event at the Vegas LTE event. But, you know, Samson and Razzle said, hey, look, we weren't there. It's not a win unless we're there, so, you know, we don't even really count that win. And these guys hear that chatter on social media, Timbo and Ricky, and they've got a lot to prove here today. They want to say, look, we won Vegas and we're going to win here too. We want to be considered the top team.
Well, in small ball, the kind of the highlight of the tournament is that nice little kill shot there from Timbo Gonzalez. We'll get the replay, but the highlight is usually, you know, the singles finals. Here it's the doubles finals. As you said, it's some of the best play that you'll see. It's also more complaining in doubles. And you're going to probably see a lot more of that go on here than we've seen so far today.
Well, what's interesting in big ball doubles is that you see the partners yelling at one another quite a bit. And, you know, if that happened in the NBA, you know, Russell Westbrook yelling at Kevin Durant, it's a huge story. Here, they yell at each other and it's forgotten by the next point.
That was a good call there from Razzle Dazzle. Manny on the right side for the team returning the serve. Now, he says that's a screen. I'm not quite sure about that.
I guess Razzle's reffing here. And that's a terrible error from Samson, who has to be a little deflated and tired after losing that singles final. This is his 9th match of the weekend. Razzle Dave apparently struggling with a bit of a lower back injury. He's about 6'5". His back probably needs to be stronger than anyone's based on all the bending he'll need to do to make those kill shots. He's known as one of the best kill shot artists in the right corner in the game. You can see there he's just not able to bend. It'll be a short day for Razzle and the machine if Razzle is not able to bend.
Score is 1-4. Samzon Hernandez serving there. And that sounded like a skip in, and a point for Ruiz and Gonzalez. Ricky Ruiz is not serving here for this team, in case you're wondering which players are which. Ricky Ruiz wearing the Edel green, Timbo wearing the white. And that's what Ricky's known for, is those little underhand lobs. You get up front, he uses that. He told me one time, that is our ceiling shot here in big ball. We don't usually play on courts that have ceilings unless they're in Venice Beach. So they've learned that little underhand flip to the back, which is just as some use that ceiling shot. That's his version of it, I guess. And that ball skipped in. There's a point for Team Razzle. Manny Sanchez serving here in the red.
Ricky and Timbo are both very emotional players. They wear their heart on their sleeve. And we'll see if that works for or against them in this match. Thus far, they're off to a great start. It was Ricky Ruiz who lost in 2 games to Mondo Ortiz in the singles round of 16 action. Timbo Gonzalez falling in the quarterfinals to our champion, Juan Santos.
There's a timeout called on the court here as we look at what Samson did with you earlier today, and our referee Sal Duenas plus Timbo Gonzalez all going out and giving a junior WPH clinic. This is that familiar kind of shot that Samson teaches these young kids. Dave, tell us a little bit more about what you saw here. Ricky Ruiz also helping out.
Well, we had so many kids that wanted to participate that we had to move over to the second court where Aoife McCarthy and I, and also Ricky Ruiz, instructed the second group of players. And it just extremely exciting. These kids were soaking everything in, just loving every opportunity they could gather to hear the words from these pros.
Dave, you're giving some advice here. What are you telling the kids at this moment? Do you remember?
Well, I think I was actually asking them to clap for our pros who took the time out in the middle of their tournament to spend an hour or an hour and a half with these kids.
Now, you said earlier that some of the kids came up to you while the tournament was going on to say that as the tournament's been going on, since this time is, since we had that clinic, that they were executing some of the shots that they learned in that clinic.
Yeah, a couple of kids asked me, hey, did you see me hit that left corner kill when it was 8-4 in the second game? I did, though, actually.
Oh, okay.
You know I see everything, Dave.
Well, we have cameras all over the place, but I'm assuming you saw that live. And look at that power. You know, he doesn't get a lot of credit here in Southern California for the power, but Timbo really does bring it.
Well, he hits the ball so hard that it looks like it's skidding on the ground sometimes because he's hitting it with so much power. But, you know, these guys don't wear gloves, and when it gets deep into a match, their hands are soaked, and combined with the power, the ball actually does take off on the ground.
Look how Timbo spreads out there to hit that shot. I think that's where he gets his power, and there's another missed shot from Ricky Ruiz, who then tells his partner to calm down after he's the one that's a little too emotional.
Well, thus far, Samzon and Razzle unable to put much pressure on Timbo and Ricky.
That time a little bit too much power for Timbo to even get back, and he's so far been very solid over there, and now Ricky wants to see this ball. He thinks it's wet. And like you said, they hit it so hard sometimes it does skip on the ground. That was kind of a lackadaisical serve there from Samzon. And you know, Timbo's going to have to move up. He has to get in front of Manny Razzle Dazzle. Manny's so big and imposing over there. You kind of migrate behind a big guy like that. And terrible serve from Samzon Hernandez.
Well, Timbo plays mostly doubles because one wall big ball is mostly doubles. There's very few singles tournaments, so he's very comfortable moving in front of his opponents. And
well, he's going to have to do it here. He's not in front of Manny at all.
But you have to recognize that Manny, like yourself, Dave, is huge in there. He takes up so much of the court that it's hard to get in front of him.
Manny backs up Samzon there. Nice shot between the legs. These players have to shoot around Manny. That's how big he is. And then Timbo comes from out of position into position and misses the backhanded shot. I don't think he had to use a backhand on that. We're at 6-11, game number 1.
So hot out here that our referee had to change his headband.
He had to change his shirt, too.
Yeah.
I think this is his 3rd shirt today.
And he's only reffed.
See, there's contact on the follow-through. No call from the ref, no complaining either.
Well, the complaining came from Samzon, who's unhappy with his partner.
There's one of our staff members, Leo Maciel, helping out with the broadcast. And some of the reffing duties and all the stuff that he's been doing this weekend is that same hamburger is still burning on that barbecue grill there. It's a beautiful look of La Mirada Park for the Big Ball Nationwide Series. Dave, this has been a good experience for all of us, really.
Well, I know, Dave, you took a jog earlier in the day, and you got to kind of take in everything in the park. There's disc golf, there's a water park, there's a golf course, there's a swimming pool, there's about 50 tennis courts. I mean, that was just what you saw in your first mile on the jog. So it's a lot going on at this park, a lot of fun here. And they don't mind if you stay late and play well into the night.
Yeah, that's never been a problem. What I'm going to do is run out and catch an interview with whomever wins this first game.
Okay.
Maybe I will. We'll see if they want to talk. Sometimes these guys have things to say to each other, but I'm going to disconnect here in a minute.
Okay.
Wearing the headsets, quite mobile here at La Mirada Park. And these doubles players, when you call a timeout, they will take a real timeout. I mean, they'll go a couple minutes until you have to track them down. On the other hand, you see Ricky Ruiz and Timbo Gonzalez just staying on the court. And you see a lot of players do that also, as they don't want the crowd and other players to get into their head. They just stay focused because, you know, you have the lead. Of course, you don't want to break your concentration.
Yeah, usually the guys winning stay on or near the court, while the guys that are down find a place to gather themselves.
There's a point for Team Samzon. 8-12, going to 15. Rally scoring, win by 1.
Look at that power from Timbo.
But look at those hands from Samson. And Ricky goes for that lob again. Now we'll switch to the side camera here so you can see the action as the players see it. And there's another one of those deep lobs, this time too far for Timbo Gonzalez, and another point for Samson and Manny Razzle Dazzle.
Didn't need to hit that one that high or that perfectly. Had the open court. And that, I believe, is Manny not able to make his normal swing with his bad back. That's a shot he normally puts away, Dave. I know you've seen Manny play a number of times, and he's got that patented right corner kill, which he has not put away in this first game.
He also has this amazing left corner flop kill that he hasn't done either, and I'm quite surprised he hasn't even tried it yet. That's what he's famous for, and there's a point there for Ruiz and Gonzalez, and now they're at game point here, and I'm going to disconnect.
Okay. Timbo Gonzalez will serve here for this first game. And it's Ricky Ruiz pumped up as he puts away that final shot. Dave is courtside. We're going to see if one of these guys will chat with you, Dave. See Timbo and Ricky staying pumped here as Luis Moreno, the small ball #1, the race for 8 #1, looks on. These guys have a really great camaraderie. It was Ricky who spurned Timbo to play in doubles in Vegas last year. Then he found out, hey, this guy's good. I need to pick him up. So he actually took him from his brother Shorty.
Can I get a water for Samson? Water for Samson, please. Give me water. I need it quick.
Ricky trying to stay hydrated. The best part about Ricky Ruiz is that his hair has not moved 1 inch since this match started.
1 minute.
That's a lot of hairspray. He actually has a combination hairspray, gel, mousse in that order, and then he reverses the order. Welcome back in. Dave, I don't think you were able to chat with them, but those guys did a lot of chatting amongst themselves.
Oh, believe it or not, I actually did ask him a couple of words there, but it was so quiet, his response.
Okay.
I couldn't even hear him. The crowd's really loud over there.
Yeah. Well, Ricky's wife, Nancy, also had to reapply the hairspray. We didn't catch that on camera, though, but she said, look, I want my guy to look good.
Game #1 going to Timbo Gonzalez and Ricky Ruiz.
Samson in danger of losing his second match of the day. Sometimes he goes an entire year without losing 2 matches. He could lose 2 here in 2 hours.
I don't think I've ever seen that before come from him, a loss 2 times in a row, and I don't think he's going to allow it. Is that unavoidable there?
I think it should be.
I mean, Ricky's so far back that I don't think he could have done anything offensively. It would have been a defensive shot probably anyway, but really you shouldn't take a guy's shot away, especially when the ball's below your knees.
You know, I repped last night Timbo and Juan Santos, and when you're a fan, everything seems like it's easy to call unavoidable, but when you're actually the referee, it's very difficult to make those calls. You have to be so sure of yourself.
You saw Timbo having to go around Manny Razzle Dazzle again, playing way behind him. There's that shot I was talking about earlier. That's that overhand flop into the corner. Let's look at this again on replay.
Well, maybe this will spark Manny Razzle, who's been dormant here thus far in this match. That could awaken the bear from hibernation.
Let's see if he does that again. Once you get it once, sometimes you might go to it too much. See, there's Timbo not calling anything. I think he can turn around to the ref right here and say, I can't see that. Ref would give it to him, I think. See, now the ref is actually looking at the line judge saying, look at me over here. Is it? I think he's...
But can you take it away from Razzle that he's just so big?
No, you can't, but still, Timbo didn't see the ball, and he hit it over the fence, and he did not complain at all about it.
Well, that's the first thing he hasn't complained about this weekend.
See, Timbo's having to look around. He's in the wrong position. I think you need to get in front of your guy up there.
Razzle's like Shaq in the paint. He uses his body perfectly. And just because he's big doesn't mean you have to call a hinder.
No, I think that certainly you use it for your advantage. And, you know, if you're going to take away the guy's height, then take away Samson hitting the ball 90 miles an hour. I mean, it's just a weapon. Oh, and that one gets replayed, but the other ones weren't. This is crazy. Now you're going to see this get nuts, Dave. How could those other ones not be called?
I think that Razzle has a play on that ball.
Well, I do too, but I'm just saying that if that's called, then the other ones have to be called.
We could be on the verge of an implosion here from Timbo and Ricky Ruiz, who find themselves now trailing 6-2. Let's keep a close look on their mental state.
Now, Timbo says that ball, he says that, okay. So he's saying that Manny ran in front of him during his shot. Let's look on a replay here and see if there's, Manny's certainly not in his way. There's a follow through that might have hit him there, but the ball is already.
Timbo altered, look how he had to alter his swing.
But that ball hit the ground and then Timbo hit.
No, but Timbo's saying that he had to alter his swing because he saw Manny coming in on his left, taking away his shot. You can't come from behind somebody and take away their shot.
So it's more of like a safety hold?
No, that's unavoidable.
But
it's one thing if you hold your ground and take away the left corner, but you can't come running from behind and take away the left corner in the middle of the shot.
But shouldn't Timbo just stop?
Well, I think Timbo's saying...
That's what Manny's been doing. He's just stopped, raised his hand, and he gets the call every time. And there's a nice get right there from Sanchez, and then Timbo hits the ball into the ground. Look at the big guy go down with that bad back, flips it backhanded with his left.
And how does Timbo miss that from point-blank range?
Oh, there's another great shot from the big guy.
And that's been the difference here in this second game is Razzle's ability to convert his kills, whereas the first game he couldn't.
There's a timeout being called here on the floor by Ricky Ruiz and Timbo Gonzalez. We are back La Mirada Park for the conclusion of this game here. Samzon Hernandez, Manny Sanchez up against Ricky Ruiz and Timbo Gonzalez in this men's doubles finals for the WPH Big Ball Nationwide Series, brought to you by EDTL Handball and Junior WPH. Dave Vincent and David Fink here. We have a broadcast booth just behind the fence. And we're catching this action, and it's been a great day for handball. Look at these amazing shots right here. We're going to have to look at a replay of this when it gets over with. Ricky floats that ball. Timbo backs him up. Now we're back deep again. Oh, that's just a nice close out there. Let's look at some of the elements early. Look at this quick action on that right side. Timbo gets up but gets out of the way. Back down the right side. Obviously, these guys, Dave, are trying to pick on Manny Sanchez, but he's got really good hands over there. So does Timbo, for that matter.
Nice.
Love watching how the teams know just how to play those balls off the wall. Samson knows that if it clips the wall, he's there to take it with his right. If it goes straight out the door, Razzle's there to play that shot.
Yeah, it's like playing singles, but with two guys. You get both areas of the court covered, and there's a left-handed slap there from Timbo, who tried to let it go between his legs to Ricky, but it hit his shorts.
11, sir, score.
Oh, that ball looked like it skipped on the floor.
But Timbo played it. He adjusted to it nicely and hit the re-kill.
Maybe he hit one of those big bugs in the left corner that we saw earlier.
That should be an avoidable, should it not?
It should be. I mean, by the rule of the book, you saw Timbo in his way, moved what he thought was out of his way, but he moved more into his way. Oh, and that ball makes it to the front wall. Let's take a look at that in super slow motion. Look at this. He just flips it up there. Does it make it?
Oh, incredible.
Wow. Let's look at this again. Right there is where the ball hits the front wall and comes down to the ground. That's a mouse.
Pretty close, yeah.
That's one of those perfect balls that just meets the front wall and the ground almost exactly at the same time. That's a terrible serve from Samzon Hernandez. What's Ricky doing?
I don't know that Ricky needs to be pumping himself up at 6-12 here in this game, wasting a lot of energy there.
Oh, and he does it again. There's that overhand flop from Razzle Dazzle, and that's where he got that nickname. That was an amazing shot again from him. I did that once, but it was totally on accident. That ball.
And now it's game point for the Machine and Razzle. They've just completely dominated this game on all fronts, including psychologically, as Team Ruiz and Timbo are just off the rails here.
Dave, I'm going to take my headphones off, and this time I will get an interview, I promise. I'm forcing them to.
Okay. And there's the game as Timbo Gonzalez and Ricky Ruiz fall 15-6. These teams have split games now, and Dave, you are down courtside, and you're going to get a chance to talk to one of these guys. This is Samzon Hernandez leaving the court area, grabbing some water. Samzon trying to get some shade here. You see him dunking that water on his head. And there's young Jerry Vincenzio, who beat Timbo in the last stop. And now, Dave, you do have a chance to talk to Samzon here.
What happened there in that second game?
Well, we got on fire. They lost their head. We started playing a little higher. A lot more wraparound serves. A lot more rallies with just side walls, front side. Had to attack Timbo. On the front side.
But they tried to attack Manny, and he's getting every ball back and making some incredible plays, right?
Yeah. Manny's making some good plays right now.
No hand airs from him, so he's just being steady.
Yeah. When they're steady, I guess, you have a good run.
They're also yelling at the ref a little bit, and it's kind of getting into their own heads.
The ref is making good calls, but it's going against them, so I guess they don't like it.
Razzle. Good steady hands in there, man.
I'm trying to, man. I'm trying to pick up my game.
What happened? How come, you guys picked that up in that second game and made it look easy there?
We have to pick it up, because if not, we're going to lose. Come all this way, to lose like that. We're just not having it. Got to step that up, This is the time that we got to step up and play at our best.
You got those guys talking in there. They're really yelling at the referees and at themselves and each other. Is that a good sign, or is that bad?
It's good for us. It's good for us. Bad for them. Getting frustrated with each other, and it's just going to make things easier for us.
I know this isn't Vegas, but it feels really hot on those courts. You guys feel hot?
It's hot, man. I feel hot.
Good luck in game 2.
Yep. Thank you, Dave. And, it's the first thing that Samzon said there was, they lost their head. And it was pretty obvious to everyone watching that was the biggest difference in that second game compared to the first. Also, the fact that Razzle picked up his game, but very tough to win a doubles game when you're yelling at the ref and yelling at each other, and in turn you start making mistakes.
Yeah, you can see that these guys know exactly what they're doing in there. And right now, Ricky and Timbo, as they get ready for this tiebreaker, still jarring with the referee about those calls. I find it odd that Timbo had some legitimate beefs in there with the referee on shots that he didn't actually complain about. But then the ones that he did complain about were really not, I don't think, justified much. Very odd. And once again, for the third straight game, Ricky Ruiz comes out and gets the first point for his team. And that's pretty important in a tiebreak.
Yeah. And Ricky now puts his team on the scoreboard with 2 points, 2 straight kills. And now this is when Timbo and Ricky are going to turn that negative emotion into positive emotion And it can happen quick. It's the flip of a switch. A couple of good shots in air from Samzon. Now all of a sudden, they're using that energy in their favor instead of against themselves.
Boy, Timbo is just stealth right now.
Couldn't ask for a better start, particularly after dropping that second game 15-6. Now off to a quick 4-0 lead.
Both Ricky and Samzon down on their backsides. Call over from the referee. Hear the crowd yelling avoidable. That certainly wasn't one. But I hate seeing those great rallies end in replays. And that ball hits Timbo on the way to the front wall from the hand of Razzle. Manny Sanchez wearing the red shirt. Nice dive right there from Samzon. Back up to his feet again. Gets that ball back. Flips it to the front wall again. Out the door is Ricky Ruiz, and he hits it over the roof.
He played that one right. I mean, he knew it was going to go straight out the door. Just a very difficult shot, though.
Boy, look at
thread the needle.
Samzon looks like he's completely spent. You see him let out that air there. Some amazing play from Samzon Hernandez in the front court. Quick hands. And Ricky misses that shot again. What is that, 5-6 on the scorecard here?
Ricky's made a number of errors, but that's kind of his style. He's a gunslinger.
Samzon gets that ball back. Pre-dive from Samzon and another point.
You know, Ricky's one of those guys that goes for his shots. If he's making them, he can beat anybody. We've seen him beat Santos before in singles, but if he's missing them, he can lose to anybody. Now the crowd's starting to surround the court here, trying to get as close as they can to this tiebreaker.
Oh, and Timbo hits the ball into the ground. Once again, when Manny goes down to one knee or dives for a ball, Timbo closes out with the ball into the ground. Maybe that's the formula. Have the big guy hit the deck.
That's the third miss from the foot fault line for Timbo in the last 15 rallies. I heard Samzon in between games there saying that they started using more sidewall, more two-wall serves, similar to what he said at the Vegas LTE event after he beat Timbo in the singles final. He said, I had to change my game. I was playing too much one-wall style, and I started hitting the side front kills and the two-wall serves, and that's what made the difference. So he's going to try and employ that same strategy here.
You know, oddly, though, that really good play from Samzon and Manny, what feels like good play from those guys, they're trailing 4-6.
This looks like it'll come right down to the wire.
Look at this little inside-out punch here from Timbo as we look at the replay. This ball comes right at our camera. Just a soft little sort of guided ball. Usually when you guide them in, they don't actually make it. That one was guided perfectly. 7-4 now. Tiebreaker going to 15. Win by 1.
Razzle's really using his size to disrupt Timbo on that right side.
Here's Timbo challenging Samzon over there. Down to one knee again is Razzle Dazzle, and a very quick replay from our booth.
But you'd think that Timbo would be accustomed to playing against someone that's that big. He's played against Rookie hundreds of times. Rookie's a huge guy also. Very similar in stature to Razzle.
Wow. I think you hear the crowd yelling foot fault. Let's look with the teleprompter here if that was. Let's draw a little red line. There's the line on the back. There's the line on the front. I see that foot probably, you know,
that's
near
definitely not something you can call as
There's
a referee.
The back line. It's definitely not the back line, and it doesn't look like the front line at all. I don't know how a player or a fan that's 60 feet away could ever call that.
Well, I think that fan might have some sand on this match, perhaps.
Trying to influence the referee, maybe?
Yeah. Not that anyone here at these events, Dave, would ever gamble.
No.
It's mostly just a gentleman's bet.
There's an inside listen here. I got you, says Timbo. Ricky really pleading with Timbo as we take a quick look at that scorer's table here with Tom Flores running the tournament desk, and it's like organized chaos going on there right now. See a lot of X's and O's and stuff going on with the time grid.
Also want to thank the Irish girls, Katrina and Aoife, who've worked tirelessly throughout this weekend, taking pictures, reporting the scores, serving as lines people, just anything that they could possibly do, they've done.
Running a tournament is one of the hardest things you'll ever do in your life.
974.
The only thing worse is getting married. And look at that. Ricky Ruiz just hits that little underhand paddle to the left side, and another point for Timbo Gonzalez. That ball skips in from Razzle Dazzle. Another point again. I like that left-handed right side front wall.
And Timbo's only been playing 3-wall big ball for about a year consistently,
yeah.
and he's already picked up on that shot.
Is that a screen?
It doesn't seem like it's a screen to me.
He sees the ball all the way.
Yeah.
I'd like the referee to say, you know, I'm not giving it to you. Sorry, that's a point. And Ricky again with number 7 into the ground. Boy, this camera angle really shows off the athleticism from these guys, and that kill shot, another elite shot again from Timbo.
Well, Timbo is more consistent and more deadly with his left hand in the front court than he is with his right.
I think he might have more power with his left, too. Look at this ball. It's flat.
It's that beautiful left-hand sidearm whip from Timbo.
How he spreads out. And another elite shot from Timbo Gonzalez. Watch how far he spreads those legs out. Watch, he gets up here, but he really has a solid base.
Very similar to golf. The farther you get your feet apart, the more torque you can create, the more speed, and the harder you can hit the ball.
This is match point. I'm going to have to disconnect here and go have an interview with one of these guys, Dave.
Not yet, says the machine, but still the writing is on the wall here. Now I've already etched the names in of Timbo Gonzalez and Ricky Ruiz. It's a lot of etching with those names, but this will be their second consecutive Players' Cup Doubles Championship. You'd have to consider them either the best or one of the best doubles teams out there right now. They're on a great streak. And that's it. You see the jubilation from Ricky Ruiz and Timbo Gonzalez. Dejection from Samzon Hernandez, who's lost his second match now in just an hour and a half. And look at this warm embrace from these two. Also congratulated by staff member Louis Maciel. And this is the closeout right here. Timbo hit 4 corner kills in the last 5 rallies to seal this match. For a guy from a one-wall court to end the match with 4 corner kills, pretty impressive. It tells you just how well he's adapted to this game. He's now either the best doubles player in the game or at least one of the top 2. And he's also become one of the top 5 singles players.
You guys have become quite the team.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the story? I mean, you've been through every doubles partner in Southern California. You find some guy from New York, and you guys are starting to do it. Why is that? Why?
He's clutch. He's the best in one way. I mean, it don't matter if it's 3 or 1 or 4. He's gonna step it up. That's his game. He's not gonna crack on me. I know that. I'm not gonna crack on him. You know, we both have, we have strong mentality for the game, and we're not gonna give up on anyone.
Are you guys gonna continue to play doubles together? Yeah. All right. Good win today, man.
Thank you.
Yep.
Hey, my name's Tony. You're from New York. How do you like the weather out here?
See Timbo receiving some more congratulations there.
Yeah, you have fans on both coasts. Guys that are watching you on YouTube from the one-wall action from New York, and then you come out here and then you're starting to lighten it up out on the west side. And these guys are starting to love you, man. I mean, how does it feel to pick up a sport that is brand new to you and then all of a sudden start to dominate it and team up with guys like Ricky and win back-to-back tournaments?
feels amazing, man. Me and Ricky started out playing early throughout the week. When I got out here early, we had a lot of pressure on each other, arguing, but we both came with a mission, we wanted to win. And since we won in Vegas, everybody said, that not a lot of strong teams went over there. So me and him felt like we had to step up to the plate and prove them that we can win, even if it's the toughest teams in there. So me and Ricky got it together. We pushed for each other. I told him if I make a mistake, I'm gonna make up for it. And he's still with me, and I stood by his side. And as a team, we just pulled the game out.
Doubles players don't routinely out here on the West stay with the same partners. They just, they always mix it up. But there's one thing that's, kind of a true staple, and that's the fact that Samzon always brings it, no matter who he's playing with. But looking on paper, when you see Razzle with what he can do by just keeping his hands on every single ball, and he's like a black hole, and you look at Razzle Dazzle playing with Samzon on paper, you say that's probably the best doubles team in big ball, three ball you can possibly have to go through, and you guys beat him today.
Listen, I love both of them as a team. It's really hard to take both of them out. Just together they're just a dominating force. Me and Ricky, I like being the underdog because it makes me step up. It makes me play to my potential. And Razzle, man, I'm very close friends with him. One of the best players I've ever seen on the right side. Much respect to him and Samzon. What else can you say about that guy? He's the thing right there. Nobody can take him out. You have to bring it to him. But one thing about my game, when I'm the underdog, I tend to step it up big. Start feeling myself, and I got my partner playing with me. It's like I feel untouchable.
You guys built a lead in that tiebreaker, and it was because of some really cool left-handed shots that you made. You had a nice one down the right that was low as well, a nice kill shot. But that left hand, when you needed some power, you really stepped it up and just put some torque into it. Have you been practicing your left-handed big ball shots?
Oh yeah, all the time. When I play a forward, I try to, just rip it with a little bend. Try to level out the killer, if they get it, hopefully I'll keep them more balanced and it gives me a setup for the next shot. Thank you.
Thank you, sorry, man.
Thank you. So, Ricky tells me practice hard, so when he tells me practice hard, I'm out there. At nighttime, I'm going to a 24-hour LA Fitness, I'm out there training, side front, kill shots, left shots, and I'll bring him whatever he needs me to do, I'll just try to step up and bring it for him.
Well, you brought it today. Congratulations one more time on winning back-to-back tournaments in the doubles. I know you wanted the singles, but you got some recognition from the guys here in Southern California.
I can't complain. Ibanez is just that level up above me. I just started playing. Hopefully, I can keep competing with them, and hopefully, I'll just get him and Sam. The two that I want. But congratulations to Sam. Placing in both of the tournaments. Ibanez for winning, me and Ricky for winning, and I want to thank WPH. You guys always support me, and I just love your tournaments.
All right, ma'am. Thank you. Congrats. Yep.
Hey, let me give you guys your trophy.
As an organization, along with Handball, proud to present you guys with first place trophies that you earned today for winning first place at the Nationwide Challenge.
Dave Vincent handing the first place trophies to Timbo Gonzalez and Ricky Ruiz, who are now posing together. But Dave, we're going to let you come back into the booth here. But like I was saying, Timbo is such a great athlete. He has such great respect for all of his opponents, and that translates into his great play. He doesn't take anyone lightly, and he appreciates the opportunity to play on this stage.
No, he absolutely loves it. It's obvious, and I'm glad the fans were able to see it. We're going to take a quick break after this amazing commercial about Vegas. We'll have a wrap-up of this men's doubles finals. We'll be back in just a bit. For Dave Fink, my name is Dave Vincent. Stick around. We'll be back with more action here at WPHLive.tv.
He has a great left hand inside out from Jarrell.
Emmett could have gone 2-all with that shot.
Emmett wants that. He wants it. The ref's going to give it to him, and Jarrell to get it, and he gets the best shot we've ever seen.
I enjoy it, love it. It's one of the best tournaments I've ever gone to and go to. The mix of the sun, the beautiful weather, and the casino, and playing outdoor racquetball. I mean, it's a trifecta. What else do you want? It's like having a tailgate party for a weekend.
Enjoy it. It's fun. It's a great event. This is Vegas!
Back at La Mirada Park here for the WPH Big Ball Nationwide Series, brought to you by EDTL Handball, as well as Junior WPH Outdoor. Dave Fink and Dave Vincent now out of the booth that we're giving away the awards from, out of the walking around the court and catching interviews. We're back here in our little makeshift studio behind the fence. And, we had a great action today. We had the men's finals. Samzon Hernandez and Juan Santos went up against each other. Katrina Casey and Tanisha Grooms had a nice battle. And then there in the tiebreaker of the men's doubles, we found the champion. Timbo Gonzalez and Ricky Ruiz defeat Samzon Hernandez.
Yeah, each matchup in the final was extremely compelling, starting with the women's final with Katrina Casey traveling 10,000 miles, advancing all the way to the final, losing to Tanisha Grooms, but really announcing herself as not only the greatest women's four-wall player in the game, but maybe all around the best player in the women's game. Juan Santos put on a clinic today for a game and a half, defeating Samzon 15-4, then leading 10-1 before he kind of had a letdown. Samzon got back into that game, but Juan closed it out in style, 15-14. Then the doubles, extremely dramatic as we expected. It was Timbo Gonzalez and Ricky Ruiz winning that first game comfortably, then kind of imploding in that second game. Manny Razzle Dazzle stepped up his game while the machine, Samzon Hernandez, was steady throughout. Samzon and Razzle captured that second game, but in the tiebreaker it was all Ricky Ruiz and Timbo Gonzalez, starting with a 4-0 lead behind some great kill shots from Ricky Ruiz, and then closed out late by Timbo Gonzalez. 4 corner kills in the last 5 rallies, 3 of those with his left hand. So a great performance by those guys. And they feel great about themselves, having knocked off what's considered to be the best team in 3-wall big ball and winning their second consecutive Players' Cup big ball title.
As I see it, Ricky Ruiz and Samzon Hernandez had this little kind of inner battle going on, both hitting balls back at each other, a lot of players hitting the wall, falling down, diving, going for that left corner kill. But it was really the steady hands and stealth play from Timbo Gonzalez at the end, where he had those 4 elite flat rollouts. He was being battled all day long. Manny Razzle Dazzle and Samzon did not hide the fact that they were going to try to hit balls. You even heard Samzon say it during that little quick interview I had with him, that they were trying to hit the ball toward Timbo Gonzalez and challenge him, but he reversed that back on him. Okay, if you're going to hit it to me, I'm going to take over, and he did. He really did. He was the deciding factor at the end.
Yeah, I mean, of course it's a team effort, but in the end it was Timbo Gonzalez who shined and really put the nail in the coffin to end that match. Great shot making at the very end of that match, and he just maintains his power throughout the entire tournament, and that comes from just hours of daily play. I mean, no one is on the handball court more than Timbo. He plays 1-wall, 3-wall, and 4-wall, mostly 1-wall, but he told me he's coming to the 4-wall events this year, so this is a guy that's an all-around handball professional. He just plays. This is his life. And it shows.
Yeah, I hate to see how good he would be on a 4-wall small ball court if he put in the type of hours that he currently does outdoor. He's dominating 1-wall. He's starting to break into that domination area of 3-wall big ball. Who knows? Sky's the limit for Timbo Gonzalez. We're going to wrap it up here for this presentation. Of course, we'll have more handball at WPHlive.tv. More big ball will be exposed by our organization and WPH Outdoor. And some great work that you're doing, Dave, with Junior WPH as you travel to these tournaments, always having the pros get on the courts with the kids. Is there anything else you'd like to say to those that are watching at home that think that we are a organization that runs pro handball, it's more or less the opposite. The junior organization is what's fueling the whole foundation of the WPH, and we're using the pros to expose the kids and vice versa.
Yeah, well, it's like you said, we are a foundation. We're a 501c3 nonprofit, and our goal is to introduce the game to as many young people as possible, and that's what we're doing. We've held over 500 clinics so far this summer. Last year we held over 700 junior clinics, and the pros have really embraced it, which is very cool. We have a coaching manual. We certify our coaches. All the coaches are trained extensively. They have to pass a coaching exam before they're allowed on the court to coach the kids. So it's very structured, it's very organized, and that translates into a lot of fun for the kids and a great opportunity for the kids to learn from the best.
If you'd like to get a hold of our organization for generous gifts, donations, or if you'd like to volunteer at our next event or help out with coaching, or you have questions about how to start a program, get a hold of us, please. We, like Dave said, are an exempt 501c3 organization, a nonprofit. Your money that you might give us could be a generous gift for us, and it could really help tenfold for those that are struggling to buy gloves or even get started in the game of handball. It will be a tax donation if you do give to our organization. You can contact us via email at wph@race48.com, and we will certainly give you information, manuals, and updates on how you can get involved in our program, as we certainly try to give back as much as possible. The WPH, World Players of Handball Foundation, and the WPH Outdoor organization teaming up with Junior WPH Edel Handball for this big nationwide series. We want to thank you for tuning in. You could also go onto our website at wphlive.tv, go to the web store and donate that way as well, or watch videos or become a member through our web store. We want to thank you for tuning in to the live broadcast. We'll have more, we promise, as we will expose what goes on, certainly in Las Vegas at the Three-Wall Ball Outdoor Championship, September 10th through the 14th, where not just the big ball players, but the small ball players will be there in one-wall, three-wall as well, paddleball, racquetball, women's pros, juniors. It's really a celebration, and that's going to go on in September in Las Vegas at the Stratosphere Hotel and Casino. Until then, we hope that we see you before September, but if not, certainly come out and say hi to us. We'll probably be in the broadcast booth. Dave, it's been a great tournament.
Yeah, always is. And like you said, Dave, in Vegas this year we're going to have a huge junior clinic that's combined with racquetball. We're going to use 2 or 3 different courts, racquetball pros, handball pros. That's Wednesday, September 10th at 6 p.m. It's going to be very, very exciting. So another opportunity for us to introduce a few dozen kids to the game, probably up to 50.
All right, and your kids are invited too. We'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching here at WPHLive.tv.